Her name is as unusual as the woman herself, Xernona, and in her years of working with civil rights and social activism, Xernona Clayton has been a quiet force of strength and energy which has broken barriers and opened doors.
I look back retrospectively of my life and I've had wonderful experiences, none of which, or very few of them, were planned. I've taken advantage of opportunities as they came my way.
Her office is a testament of the awards and recognitions for her efforts to improve social awareness on a national and local basis. An identical twin and the daughter of a minister, she credits much of her success to the values she learned as a child.
My dad believed very strongly in developing self. And while in my home we never talked about race or gender, he wanted us, there were four of us, he wanted us to really be self-sufficient.
The lesson came in handy in the 1960s when she and her husband began working with Dr. Martin Luther King's civil rights movement. In Atlanta, she became the first black to host their own local television program. And she not only worked with Dr. and Mrs. King, she was their friend.
We know that you really don't need much, but we thought there's some things you ought to have.
Everybody wants to admit now they marched for them. Well, I can say I really didn't. I helped to stage them, I helped to prepare for them, I helped in the office to do what was necessary to get all the clearances for the marches. So I did everything. And when time came to march, he said, okay, you go. I said, no, not this time. We always still got next time, next time.
He questioned her on the matter again in April of 1968 as she drove him to the airport to fly to Memphis, Tennessee.
And I said, you know, I've worked with school dropouts and made a significant change there. I've come to television, broken the color barrier. And I started enumerating some things. And I said, and you know, in a sense, it's kind of what your marches do. They help to change the society and change the complexion of things. So in a sense, I've been marching all the time. And he laughed. He said, well, okay, but maybe one day I really want you to march with me.
While in Memphis, Dr. King was struck down by an assassin's bullet.
And I then ended up marching when he died a few days later and had the funeral. Then Mrs. King staged a march from the church to the Morehouse campus, and I marched that day. So his final march, I went with him.
Xernona drew from her last conversation with Dr. King when she wrote her autobiography, I've Been Marching All the Time, and she has continued her own march, working as Vice President of Urban Affairs for Turner Broadcasting. She was the guiding light behind the Trumpet Awards, which herald the contributions of African Americans to society.
We were here sort of at the beginning of the revolution, and we're still around. And it probably means that God is not through with us yet.
I found people hungry for this kind of learning. There's been a burning yearning for learning of the cultures of other people. We're going to help lift that veil of ignorance where people now can learn about the people's contributions who are out there, but we don't get a chance to know them because we've been left out of the history books. But through programs like this, we can learn about others and then respect each other.
Xernona knows her goals are tough ones, but she says she also knows she will keep on marching. Janice McDonald, CNN Newsroom, Atlanta.